I'll be replacing the air intake hose on a 2015 Honda Civic SE. It came off easy. This part, the bottom is still attached. I only detached the top. Because I'm gonna disconnect the electric connector from the mass airflow sensor, I'm gonna disconnect the battery cable just to be safe nothing goes wrong. Positive first and negative second. To disconnect the electric connector from the MAF sensor, you gotta push back here. It's kind of towards the back. Push it to unclip the clip. So I'm gonna push it, and then with the screwdriver, it came out. I used the screwdriver to push on the side here. I'm gonna use this magnet to pick up the bolt. It would be a lot easier to move this out of the way. I'm gonna do that. Should I do that? Yeah, I'll do that. I don't want that bolt to drop. I gotta move that screw. I gotta move that bolt here. I gotta move that so I could get this out of the way. Now it's easier to access this bolt here. Doesn't look like it'll come out, but the airbox is off. So I guess it could stay there for now, that bolt. Right now, there's a ground net towards the back holding the filter box onto the car. So I just gotta pull it out. The camera was turned off, but I think I got it loose. So here's what I did. I pulled on this side. I went like this, and I think it came loose. This grommet, it goes here. It's kind of stuck here, so I could just leave it there. other screw goes here. There's a adjusting screw for a clamp back here. I got the new hose here. So it's like this. This part is that part. And then right behind it is another one. So there's something clip onto here. You gotta disconnect that too. I was able to pull the intake hose out from the throttle body. The clamp is locked open. I'm gonna try to pull the metal tube out from the intake hose. I'm gonna try using a screwdriver to push it. The old one, the adjusting screw are there and there. The new one, the adjusting screw is placed differently. They're placed like this. So I'm gonna flip it over. Also, the new one, it doesn't look like I could fit a socket here. So I'm gonna have to just use a screwdriver. Actually, if I can't fit socket on these adjusting screw, I'm not gonna flip over. I'm gonna just leave it like this, because I'm gonna have a hard time putting a screwdriver in this direction. You gotta align these two things sticking out. Align it right there, next to the throttle body. The new clamp, it's not gonna work for me, because when I try putting in, this part keep hitting. I think it's a sensor back there, so I can't push it all the way in. I'm gonna take the old one out, the old clamp from the old hose, and I'll put it on the new one. On this end, I put the old clamp onto, I was able to put the old clamp on. But on this other end, I'm not able to put the old clamp onto the new hose. It won't go all the way that way. So on this end, I'm gonna use the old clamp, and on this other end, I'm gonna use the new clamp. This is the clamp that came with the new hose. But if you're replacing the intake hose, you could do whatever you want. If you're able to tighten it with the new clamp on, then do it. This is how I'm gonna do it, but do whatever you want. And if I use the clamp that came with the new hose, if I use that, it'll keep the screw will keep hitting this thing right here. I think this is a sensor. It'll keep hitting the sensor because the screw will be right there. And then if I put the screw more back there, I won't be able to have access to tighten it. That's the reason why I put the old clamp back on. I got this part connected, but it's not pushed all the way in. So I'll probably need to disconnect here so I could push in. And this clamp here is sog. I'm gonna have to not use this clamp. This is the clamp that came with the new hose. I'll be using this instead. Cause every time I clamp on this, it kind of, so I could push the metal tube in, it'll slip off the, it'll slip off of this plier, this locking plier. And I did disconnect here so I could push the tube in. This metal tube is hard to push back in, but it's almost there. Okay, looks like I got it. If you just push, it's gonna be, if you just push, it won't go in. But if you do this motion, push and release, it'll go in better. I'm tightening up the clamp. I'll reconnect this. It's reconnected. And I use a plier to clamp on this to open it. I got the air filter box in. The clamp, if I open the clamp any bigger, it might fall apart. And then the clamp is a little too tight. I can't push the intake tube in. The intake hose, I can't push in. I'm gonna try using one of my clamp. It's a bigger one, and I'll see if this works. I use this magnet to help me put that down bolt there, but these two I still need to tighten them up. I loosened this clip a little more. I loosened the clamp a little more, and I was able to push the hose into the air filter housing. It looks like I loosened the clamp too much. It fell apart. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put my bigger one in. So I'm gonna have to disconnect the hose again and put this bigger one in. Actually, I'm not gonna disconnect the hose. It's kind of hard to do that right now because the air filter box is on the way. So I'm gonna just open it all the way up. And I'll just lock it onto the, I'll just put it back onto the, I'll wrap it around the hose and I'll lock it back onto the screw. So I got the clamp on tight. I put the mass airflow sensor back on, and I connect the green clip. I tighten that bolt all the way, tighten that one all the way, and I got put this little screw back in there. It's for this. And then the last thing I would do is connect the battery back on. I'll connect the, when I connect, I'll connect the positive first and negative last. Okay, so I almost forgot about this. So I just finished a shower, about to go sleep. I think I forgot to mention why I'm changing the intake hose. The reason I'm changing the intake hose is because this is the old one. There's a crack right here. A big crack, and there's also a crack on this side. Maybe I made this crack when I was taking it out, but this bigger crack, it was there for sure. It was there before I It was the reason why I changed the intake hose.